to Stitching Plaza Knits. I'm Georgianne and I will be your host today. Welcome to episode 6. We were formerly of 606 Maine, but in the past 10 months we've decided to rebrand ourselves. So I welcome you if you're a new viewer. Welcome, and I hope you like us. If not, I totally understand. There's plenty of podcasts out there. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and staying with me for these past 11 months. It's been a journey, definitely been a journey, but let's do the administrative stuff first. You can find me on Facebook at Stitching Plaza, facebook.com Stitching Plaza, on Instagram as Stitching Plaza, and our Ravelry, I am Stitching Plaza as well on Ravelry, and we do have a web group. I will be rebranding that and naming it Stitching Plaza Knits sometime today, hopefully before this goes up. And I'm going to try to be a lot more active. I've kind of disappeared off the world of Facebooking and podcasting, but not Instagram so much. It's been a rough couple of months. Good times too. I went to school for a while to hone in my sewing abilities and learn some really cool tricks of the trade with a wonderful seamstress here in San Diego. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I'm in San Diego, California, where it is April 10th and it's a balmy 74 degrees out there. I live by the airport, so occasionally you may hear plane go overhead, and I apologize, and what we call that is an OB pause. So we'll be pausing and we'll see how that works. But yeah, I was under the stress of podcasting, trying to do it once a week, and in my schedule that wasn't working. So I did try to do it 2 times a month or every 2 weeks, and I got out of the habit real fast. So I was watching the Knitting Broomstick the other day. Hi, Jilly. And I'm sorry about the ums. Like I said, it's been a long time. And she mentioned how podcasting wasn't working in her schedule either, and she decided to do a vlog. So in the same kind of thought pattern, I think I'm going to do a vlog podcast. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm right now a full-time mom, and I run my company, which is the Stitching Plaza. Or, no, it's just Stitching Plaza. I keep throwing a "the" in there. But I'm a full-time mom to my autistic son, who I absolutely love. And we are in a battle with services right now, trying to get them to understand that, yes, he's 22, yes, he's autistic, and he needs assistance. And I am not 22, and I'm worried about what's going to happen to me. Actually, I'm worried what's going to happen to him when I'm not here. And I want the best care for my child. And 22 years ago, if you deemed your child as autistic, it was something they could grow out of, I found. Well, that's what they told me. He's hyperactive. He needs this medicine. He needs that. There was a lot less known and accepted. Michael's had a hard time and struggled to get a lot of this done, but we have a really, really good team. And this isn't about autism and all that other stuff. This is about knitting. But I will put knitting and sewing aside for my kiddo any day. He is amazingly brilliant. His IQ is off the charts. But we just discovered that even at age 22, he's about age 9 in mentality. So it's fun. It's interesting. I do wish I could see the world like he does. He always sees the good in people, and that's a trait I wish I had more of. But like I said, this is a podcast or a vlog about knitting and goodness, so let's get to it, right? Let's see. Let's start with, I'm not going to show you the past 10 months of knitting, because that would kind of be crazy, but what's currently on my needles? How's that? I am currently knitting the Appia cowl. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Appia cowl. It's by Hilary Smith Callis, and it is a paid pattern on Ravelry. I will post a link or add it to show notes. But first of all, check out this colorway. Is that like not the most gorgeous color? It's a collaboration I did with Geektastic Fibers out of Germany. We wanted to do a fandom, and so she did this one for John Locke of Sherlock, or John Watson of Sherlock. So it's John Locke, and it's purples and navies, whites and golden, and it's knitting up absolutely beautifully on this cowl. Here's my little stitch marker, but look at that. Look at that detail. It's a very simple lace shawl, and then put together, and then it's a cowl. But so it would lay like this on me right now. But I'm still, I think I want to rip back a couple of rows and make it for the large, not the small, which I thought I was gonna do. I don't know, but it's such an easy knit. I started this, today's Tuesday, so I started this on Saturday, and that's with one rip out because when I went to do laundry, I dropped a couple stitches in the lace area, which really is just yarns over, and not knowing how to go back, I ripped it out to about here. Let's see, that would be about here, and then went back. But again, it's 14 rows of just yarn overs and 2 togethers, and then you increase, and then you do the same 14 rows, and then the designer of the pattern really gives good instructions about, okay, now you're gonna do this increase flat, and then when you join them, there's in the round. So I definitely love the pattern. I've already gifted it to one of my friends and said, you definitely need to do this, and she is an awesome knitter. These are on these are on my size 6 Knitter Prides, 4 millimeters, 24-inch cable. Again, the colorway is Geektastic John Locke. So, and I keep fiddling with my hair. I cut a whole bunch of it off in August, and it's now at that stage where either I'm going to cut it again because it's always in my eyes, or I'm going to have to deal with it and get it out of my eyes. So I apologize. So that's step 1 on the needles. My other little doodaddy on my needles today is socks for my husband, and these are being made out of Regia, directly from Germany, from my good friend Jessica. Hi, Jessica. And he's got man boats, so he is a size 12 and a half. So he is very knit worthy. He is amazing. Ever since we were dating, he understands my need for fiber addiction, and I think he realized how bad it was when we moved from his apartment into our house, and he found all the yarn behind like the towels for the bathroom that I was hiding. We're drinking today a very good dose of water. I am trying to limit myself to Diet Coke on only 1 or 2 occasions during the day. I've definitely overdone it. But back to the really cool socks. These are just Regia with Knit Picks blue on heels, toes, and eventually cuffs. John has a very unique size foot. He stood in boots for many years with the Navy. So even though not only is he long, he's got a wide foot, and then he's got even wider ankles. So what I do is on 2.75 millimeters, I cast on 14. As you can tell, I do toe up. I go to 34, so that's 68. Do the heel. It's a fish lip kiss heel, and then I increase to 72 stitches. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. And then I do that for about 8 inches, and then 15 rows, 1 by 1 ribbing. So he likes them, but again, we live in San Diego, so he wears them rarely when it's cold. He does wear them with his boots, so he's knit worthy. So we have 2 works in progress, 2. And my go-to, of course, I've got to have vanilla needles. When I take Michael to the doctor every week, so I'm sitting there for 45 to 50 minutes in a waiting room with other children, and I will put on my headset and listen to music and just knit away. So I'm thinking by Thursday, when I go back on Thursday, I should get to the cuff. I'm pretty fast on vanilla, but I've learned I've got to have vanilla, especially when we go to a movie. I annoy people. I will actually knit in the dark. Um, it's just a matter of learning to feel for the stitch, and I think after this many years knitting, I definitely am comfortable with vanilla knitting. I will look at the sock after I leave, and there may be one or two places where I split the stitch, and like I've only caught half of it, so I will um, ladder down to where the stitch is broken, and then fix it back up with a crochet hook. So I'm very happy I know how to do that. But not only was I watching Jilly's podcast of Knitting Broomstick, I am a big Bakery Bears fan. I love Kay, I love Dan, I love What's on Your Needles. So she inspired me to start doing another scrappy blanket. I've been doing a crochet one for ever, Granny Square stripe, which is the Attic 24 pattern. But as it's getting warmer, I'm not going to want to have this really heavy blanket on me. So I'm working with the miter squares. See, all the miter squares. And at this point, I'm 5 in. I'm using 60 stitches on a 2.5 millimeter. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 9 squares and then log cabin around it. And I'll put a picture in what that looks like here on how Bakery Bears does that. Or I might just continue doing 1 or 2 squares and see what happens. Again, it's going to get warm, but I don't know. I think knitting is a lighter weight than crocheting, probably because it uses 1/3 less yarn. So this definitely might be a let's go with it until it's too big to figure out, and then I can always make it patchwork and do like 6 squares in a log cabin and 4. It's fun. But this is Bad Wolf Studios Maleficent. This was, gosh, gifted to me. These 2 were gifted to me. 3 were gifted to me. And that is an opal yarn, which you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, I'm enjoying the miter squares. It takes me an episode of Lemony Snicket. We are Netflixing, binge watching right now, Lemony Snicket's Unfortunate Events. So it takes me an episode of watching that. It's fun. It's good. And then lastly, we have my sister's shawl. It was a make-along cowl, knit-along cowl, and my friend Jessica got me, we were going to knit it together. We both were ready to do it, picked out the yarns, loved my color combination. It was 2 semi-solids and a speckled. Cool, had it in my stash. Loved the first 3 clues. It was a 5-clue knit-along. Got to the 4th clue, and it was a repeat of the 2nd clue, and the 5th clue was a repeat of the 3rd clue. Kind of turned me off, but it's my sister shawl, and I forgot to write down who the designers are, but it's the 4 sisters, and they have a podcast. It's a beautiful knit. I guess maybe at the time I wasn't feeling it. So, I'm over here now. So here it is. This is, again, I love the colors. You start with a provisional. You start with a provisional cast on, and then you go this way, and then you go provisional cast on this way. But like I said, I love the mango, love the gray, love the fact that I found a mango gray speckled in my stash. So there's the mango. But I think this one's got to come out of hibernation soon. There's the gray. Here's the speckle. Now what I'm thinking of doing, just to maybe jazz it up, I might integrate yellow somewhere. And normally I don't do well with yellow, especially near my complexion, but maybe with the gray next to me, it might work. So, oh, that washed out weird on my screen. So yeah, I have to figure this one out, but my goal is it's April 10th. I'm thinking by June 1 I want this one off my needles. It's on my size 6 32-inch cables, and these are my Knitter's Pride. I want my needles back. And I could put them on stoppers. I could make it easy. But I know if I do that, then I'm totally going to put this in the back of a closet, and I'm not going to want to work on it, so I can't do that. Now it's time to, I actually have notes. First time in a long time I've ever written notes. So so that's on the needles. I'm trying really hard to limit myself to just 3 projects, one of them being vanilla and socks. Yeah, that might not work too long. I love knitting socks. I don't know why I didn't like knitting socks. Maybe because I thought they were impossible. I don't like how I knit socks cuffed down, but I love a toe up. And I use the Turkish cast on, and it's super easy. Which brings me to my finished objects. Should we talk socks or shawls? Let's go with socks, because that's where we were talking about. So the whole sock thing started in February, when I really started getting faster and faster. And man with huge sailor boat feet, he got socks. And this is West Yorkshire Spinners in the Bullfinch colorway, knit on 2.75 millimeters, magic looped, and I keep finding little doggy hairs from Rollo and Baxter and keep pulling them off. But the toe is Firecracker Red from Knit Picks Stroll, and that's heels, toes, and cuffs. And I always do those for John's socks just because he is such a large foot. But with West Yorkshire Spinners, I had this much left. That's a lot. So there may be a pair of shorties in there for me. I will definitely put a square in my blanket for that. But it's a BFL nylon. It's a sturdy yarn. It really has some teeth to it. And I think especially for him, he's knit worthy, but he's also a guy. So he does at least, opens up the cuff and pulls them out. So he's knit worthy, but he needs a stronger tooth sock. So after I made those for him, he got another pair. Again, vanilla socks. Put these on the sock locker. I need to get another pair of these. And these are Patton's Croy. I went crazy when I saw Megan from Bad Wolf Studio, or Sits and Knits, whatever you want to call it. She's both. She made a pair of these for Pat, her husband, then was fiance, and I love the colorway. So these were again my Knit Picks heels, toes, and cuffs, which really, if you look at that, they kind of match. This color matches that color really well. But these were the 14 cast on each side, so that was what, 28 up to 68 after the heel, 72. And I didn't like the fabric of Croy when I first finished them. I washed them, and I didn't use soap. I just used, gosh, I think Woolite, and washed them, hung them out to dry, and now they're really soft and squishy. Not saying I'm ready to get Croy socks, but those are his. But I am, for me, another pair of finished socks. See the theme here? Vanilla socks. And thank goodness for self-pattering yarns, because this one was for me. I went into a little yarn store here in San Diego when, I don't know why. Who would go into a local yarn store? Go figure. and found this. I was actually looking for semi-solids to do heels, toes, and cuffs because I'm looking for a really good red for Christmas socks. But this yarn called my name, and I had to have it. And at first I thought it was called watermelon, but it's called begonia. It's Cascade. Let's see, what is it called? Cascade Prince in begonia. And I keep hitting the microphone. I am so sorry. And the heels, toes, and cuffs were up in yarns. She did a Christmas set with self-striping with red, white, and the green. This green was going to be her heels, toes, and cuffs mini, but I went with a darker green on those. And again, I don't think you can tell the difference with heels, toes, and cuffs to the green in here. It's not. A couple of people have asked me, is it Regia Perfect? I've gotten 2 skeins of those in the past couple of weeks, but I don't know how to do those yet, so we'll see. But this was definitely a heels, toes, and cuffs, different yarn, Cascade Prince. And then these got finished yesterday? Yesterday. These took me an amazing 10 days to knit. I had an eye doctor's appointment. They thought they found a bleeding retina in my eye, my right eye, and I had to go into the specialist to have them look at it, and I didn't know what I was going to expect. So I was like, oh, well, I can bring John's socks, the navy blue ones. I'm like, what, am I crazy? I'm not going to be able to see navy blue when I'm possibly dilated. Well, they not only dilated my eyes, they took pictures and put contrast behind my eye, like almost an MRI. So there I am, sitting in the waiting room, which, by the way, Balboa, we go to Balboa Hospital here for the Navy, pretty much for everything. Awesome people there. Awesome staff, awesome doctors. But they really have to understand when your eyes are dilated, you need blinds. Because I had my sunglasses on, eyes were closed, and I still was in pain. But in 10 days, we got opal. And these are in their Impressionist colorway, Wager Garn. And I'm not even going to try to say the rest of it. But these, again, knit picks, heels, toes, and cuffs in sunshine yellow, and doggy hair on them. But now I can wear them because now I'm showing them to you. And between the Cascade and the opal, these are toothier, but I'm not going to mind wearing either of them. They are very soft. They are fun, and I do, for myself, I do on a 2.5 millimeter needle, 64 stitches, fish lip kiss heel, and then knit it away. And I let the pattern of the yarn really dictates when I'm going to stop the leg. That way, if it's somewhere weird, I have a little bit of OCD, so maybe that's okay. I have a lot of OCD, but that's pretty much what I've been working on, where I've been knitting, how's it been going. Do have a couple of collaborations going on, and so if you are here for the knitting, thank you. I hope you come back. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. But I'm going to talk about now the store at shop update, what's going on with StitchingPlaza, what we've been doing, where we're going, where you can find us. And again, I'm so glad if you came back. Thank you for holding on for 10 months. It's been awesome to see you. If you're new, oh, I wrote notes, right? Totally mama brain this one. In our Ravelry group, I'm going to be setting up a knit-along. I love knit-alongs. I love giving prizes, but let me see if I can reach this on. We're going to do, everybody did Box of Socks 2018. Everybody did, clean up your needles at the end of 2017. I am going to do a travel knit along. No, you don't have to go to London or Italy or Rome, but if you're there, that's awesome. I would like to see you knitting or crocheting where you are, even if it's the beach down the street from you. This is going to be a cow. Um, you pick the pattern, you pick the yarn, you pick whatever you're doing. I just want to see where you've been. With being home with Michael and things the way they are with John's work, we can't travel. So I need to travel vicariously through you. A friend of mine she lives in Germany on base with the Army, and she just went to Italy, Verona, St. Mark's, and Venice for Easter weekend. And I'm totally jealous. Totally jealous. Totally. And I have another friend who lives on the East Coast. There's another one that lives in Ohio. I want to see where you are. That's all. So take a shot. Post it in the Ravelry group. I'll have a knit along. And we're going to run this starting, you know what? We'll start it on the 15th of April. Good way to forget tax day. And we'll run it for a month, 2 months. We'll run it through June 15th. And I'm going to show you why it's got to be a travel one. I will have multiple prizes, but one of the prizes that I will draw for is a StitchingPlaza bag, and it's the London Underground. The mean people of London have told me I cannot sell this bag, so my loss is your gain. They said it's copyrighted, so this will go to you. It's a zipper bag, fully lined, with another London theme. Okay, so let's try this again, part 2. I don't know what happened, but somehow I hope to gosh that I didn't just ruin 30 minutes of recording. But let's hope I didn't. Let's move on the premise. So here is the bag, and you will win this by random number generator. But again, so we will have a show us where you are. And I'm not even going to worry about chatter. If you want to chat and I pick your number, you win. So I just want to see where you're going, where you've been, what you're up to, how's the family, all that good stuff. So that will be in the StitchingPlaza Stitching Ravelry group. So as I was saying before, I so rudely jumped the shark and closed the mouth thing. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to know about shop updates, shop going ons, stick around. And I think that's it on that. So again, thank you for finding me and sticking with me. Now, if you're here for shop update, you may or may not know, and I hope you do know, that I am StitchingPlaza.com on the interweb, and we sell project bags. We do drawstring, we do zipper, and we started getting into the larger tote bags. We also have knitting accessories, and hopefully by the end of this week we're going to have pom-poms for like cat pom-poms. So hopefully I'll be I would love to go back to dyeing yarn. Kudos to everybody that does it. I don't have the room, I don't have the patience, I don't have the eye for the color. I did it about 15 years ago, and I think I dyed about maybe 100 skeins for the public. I had 2 young kids. I was crazy to do that. So let me just start with a couple of the cool things that we have going into the shop. Back with a limited edition, we have one of our Expecto Patronus Harry Potter bags in zipper, and these are lined with Harry Potter. If you, like I said, it's going to be a limit of 1. I had just enough, I always say I had just enough fabric to do 1 more, and we did this for a while, but I want to let you guys know first off that we had it. And like I said, this is the zipper bag. It's what I consider I used to consider it my large bag, but now I'm starting to consider it my medium-sized bag, because this is the drawstring. and this is new in our shop. This is summer cacti with desert scheme internal, and I think that's more small. I put socks in there, not a problem. However, I don't think a shawl would fit in here so well. And then I am having a hard time giving this one up. This is magnolia blooms, I think, or dogwood blooms. Dogwood blooms, we'll call it dogwood blooms. Muted green interior. All my bags, they are now available as either zipper or drawstring. In the pull down menu, you get to choose. Color schemes are the same, except if this would be the zipper, the blue would be on the bottom. I just think if you're going to have a zipper bag, sometimes you put them on the ground. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I do. I adore this one. It's mermaids. It's mermaids. Blue interior. This is currently as our bag of the month, and this will only be available through the month of May. This will be May the 4th be with you, and it's a what do you call it? Sugar candy, sugar skulls, Star Wars, with just a red interior. And with this purchase comes either Darth Vader or Stormtrooper Progress Keeper. We also have the Harry Potter houses. This is just one. This is Slytherin, and they're all lined similar with a gray interior. I like to go lighter on the inside just so that you can see your work if you're looking for it. But we have Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor all in one. Well, they're not all in one, but you can get your house, is what I'm trying to say. And then there's this little thing called, oh, I don't know, Hamilton. I designed the fabric. I thought I did a really good job designing the fabric. I think I might have done too good of a job designing the fabric because the people at Hamilton said, you can't sell that. We want to sell it. They're not going to sell my bag. I still have fabric for these. So if you are interested in a Hamilton bag and you see this, definitely message me. It's just a gold interior. Dark black on black notes on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that pretty well. Put it this way. There you go. Oh, that came out really good. So we'll make a special listing for anybody who wants these. They come, again, drawstringer or zipper. And like I said, we also have tote bags that are coming, and these will be available by any print in the shop. And this is how big it is. It's pretty massive. Theoretically, it's 16 by 21 with over-the-shoulder bolt. I almost said over-the-shoulder bolt. Over-the-shoulder straps. Excuse me. So that's what's going in the shop. What's in the shop. Things that you might want but aren't necessarily in the shop because stupid copyright people. I do have a collaboration going on with Geektastic Fibers. It's the Strong Women of Marvel, and her website is, well, I'll put her website down here. Oh, down. There we go, down here. And right now it's Black Widow, Peggy Carter, and Shuri from Black Panther. And it's a 3 month, well, no, now it's a 2 month because Black Widow's all gone, but you can still get Peggy Carter and Shuri from Black Panther, and her website will be here. I'm also finishing up a collaboration with Bad Wolf Studios, and we did the Mandrake set. There's six kits left. And she'll be releasing that on 4/14. It's a skein of yarn, heels, toes, and cuffs in her dyed yarn, a drawstring mandrake bag, and a charm, and I will again I'm actually going to try to insert a picture of that. So if you are interested, I do have a few mandrake bags in the shop in zipper only, or so if you are interested in a larger bag, Meg has the drawstring. On the horizon, Meg and I are going to do another Christmas in July this year. It's supposed to be real. It's gonna look gorgeous. We picked out the fabric. I've seen her colorway. I think she's gonna add a charm in it. It it's gorgeous. It's fluffy. It's yarn. Also, I've been working with Melissa of Honeybee Knits on Melissa's doing a really cool thing, and I highly recommend if you're interested to go to her website, which is honeybeenknitsco.etsy.com, and I'll try to remember to put her shop name here and link her in. Or she had a friend of over about 5 years who went into the hospital. They found they found cancer. I can't say the word. I'm sorry. And everything looked really good. And sadly, the young lady, her friend Jessica, passed away. And so in honor of her, and Melissa is now doing in honor of her friend a special colorway. And in doing so, we are also putting in some of our pods. Let's see if I can reach around. These are our little Notion pods. Just enough for your stitch markers and measuring tape into her colorway, which is, I believe, $23, free shipping. And I know there's a there's a designer who's giving a pattern as well, and I will show you a picture of that. And honestly, being a cancer survivor, clean for 3 years, my heart goes out to the family. What Melissa's doing for Jessica and her family is amazing. At current time, I believe she's raised over $2,400, and that's minus expenses. So that's going directly to Jessica's family, and I believe she has a young child. So I again encourage you to please check her out. She's amazing. But Melissa and I are looking at doing a May collaboration. Right now, we're not sure what it's going to be, but her yarn's fabulous, and I highly recommend it. We also are in a couple shops locally. Well, not really local. I'm local here in San Diego for Apricot Yarns, and it's here at what's called NTC, which is the Naval Training Center, which was converted about 15 years ago to be open to the public. But it's really cool because her shop is in a naval barrack, Barrack 19. So if you ever you're in San Diego and you want to stop by, say hello to Sarah and check out our bags there. Also, if you're in Auburn, Washington, a Little Nitty she's right on Main Street. She has our bags as well, and she has mostly zippers. And Sarah in San Diego here has zippers, drawstrings, and pods. I'm still looking for a place on the East Coast to distribute. I know the competition's really hard. I want to find a shop that not only has the mainstream yarns, but also the indie yarns, because I think I want to be able to be in a shop that supports the local indies as well. Other than that, that's where we're at. I'm hoping that the two videos can be merged together. This is why I let my husband edit this. Until then, I hope to see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for hanging out with me. Have a good day, and I just want to say thank you to all my friends, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.